Hello and welcome to DD Blooms. I thought I would get an update going here on my back patio. There's some really cool happenings going on here that I want to show you guys. I'm just going to start on the left side first, and one of the first things I just want to show you guys how my blatillas are still blooming. They're starting to go over or end their bloom, but it's been a really enjoyable spring season with them. They're not fragrant that I can tell, but I've just really enjoyed them. I have them growing here behind a shade screen and the pergola thing. I can't think what it's called, but to break up the sun, and they've grown really nice and green. So the ones that are in bloom right now are my Striata Chiron and my Yokohama, and I'm still hoping. I haven't gotten any blooms from this one, my variegated Striata variegated. I'm still hoping it might put out some flower spikes. It'll be a beautiful white flower. And then I'm also hoping the Striata pyloric will bloom for me. It's grown nice green growths, but no spikes or blooms. Otherwise, I've got new growths everywhere. This is my Cymbidium golden elf, which is a summer bloomer. Hopefully that new growth will provide me with a bloom. My Dorothy Stockstill finished up her flower spike and blooms. This is the Forbidden Fruits, and she's working on a new growth. So a lot of that is going on out here in the patio. I do have some buds I am anxiously waiting for. I think these are late in the season. This is my Dendrobium chocolate chip that has a couple spikes. Everyone else's I've seen bloom in the spring. So again, I think this is a little delayed, but I'm very happy. This will be the first time it blooms for me. I have a couple Vandas that are working on spikes. Let's see if I can get this in view. Down in there, there's a spike gonna work itself up. And this is my Vanda Manuel Torres Crostua Suavis. Let's see, my zygopetalums way up above, let's zoom back out, are working on new growths all around across the board. My zygopetalums are all up, for the most part, way up top here. I have lots of young ones from Sunset Valley Orchids. I do have a spike and buds forming. Oh gosh, I'll put it on the screen finder which one this is. I can't remember right now, but I'll put the name up there. So I'm excited about that. My other Vanda, which I rotted the spike. The first spike it started growing, I rotted it. Right there, that's the rotted spike. I was so sad, but it is blessing me with a new spike, which is advancing pretty quickly right there. So excited. This is my Vanda Packy, which hangs below, right below my zygopetalums. Just coming around, I've got a beautiful bloom show with the Maxillaria that bloomed for the first time for me last year. last spring into summer, and that's the Memoria Ben Berliner Yellow Cape. I really enjoy this one. I love the speckled spots, the beautiful yellow and the dark red spots and coloring. It's very fragrant. This is the second year blooming, and it's putting out bud after bud after bud. So I'm doing something right here. Really recommend this one if you have a chance to get it. It's been really easy to grow and self-watering. One of my newer acquisitions from Sunset Valley Orchids is also in bloom. It's the Sandra, LC Sandra SVO crossed with Cattleya carrii Top Choice 4N. Very fragrant. It was in, had a sheath and was already developing the buds. So I did not create this beautiful show. It's a newer orchid, and I need to do an update on additions to my collections. Oh gosh, okay, we're coming around here. I've got a pride and joy on this table, and it is my Phaeus Lady Ramona. She has matured 2 beautiful flower spikes, and she is really showing off her beautiful flowers these days. The camera is not going to do her justice, and neither is this shade. She's the Nun's Cap orchid. You can see the light whitish color on the back side of the petals and sepals, and but in the front it's just beautiful peachy pink tones, and the lip is a darker pink with a center that has hints of yellow, a little bit of spotting. Again, the camera just doesn't do it justice, and just try to circle around here. Maybe this will be better light to see some of the coloring. And again, there's that white cap, why it's known as the Nun's Cap orchid. I love the contrast that the back has to the front. Just love this one. It's a nice, beautiful, tall orchid. I've already got some new growth starting up as well, which I'm sure they will ramp up when the blooming is done. I also have some spikes I'm very excited about with an encyclia that I've had for 3 years. This is the Phoenicia SVO Hot Lips crossed with Darkwing's Darkest. And it has 2 beautiful flower spikes that's been developing for quite some time. And it was in spike and in bloom when I bought it over 3 years ago from Sunset Valley Orchids, and it never spiked or bloomed again. It grew every year. Here's the original flower spike, and I've grown a lot of growths the past 3 years, and now it's blessing me with this. I can't wait to show you guys this show. So I'm starting to feel more confident with encyclias. This one I grow outside year round. So I wonder if the past growths, maybe I wasn't consistent enough with watering or enough fertilizer. I'm sure it's something I did, but I did something right. Yay, very excited. Let's see, over here, my Lelia Wellesley is still going strong. Some of her blooms are starting to go over. She grew these 2 beautiful spikes, and I've just been enjoying her color for going on 3 months now, maybe 2.5 months at the shortest. So very happy with that. Over here I've got some of my Lelia purpuratas that are just working on new growths. There's new growths all starting up. I've got another just full Lelia up here. It's not a purpurata, it's just a Lelia anceps, which can put out very large flower spikes, long flower spikes. It's got a whole new growth right here. It put out this strong sheath last season, so I'm really hopeful maybe this new growth might be the year that it'll spike for me. Just had a hummingbird show up right here trying to get to the feeder, but I scared it with my filming. This is one of my Rupiculus Lelia that's been maturing its new growth. This blooms for me every year, so I'm hoping this will put out a spike soon and bloom for me. Got some epidendrums down here. Everybody's maturing new growths. This is a very mature Dendrobium kingianum that I got from my local Lowe's store, or actually, sorry, it was Home Depot. And it's putting out new growths. It had bloomed. I bought it in bloom from the store, but it's got these new growths. Hopefully you can see that. It's a very healthy plant. Oh, my Proctvala key lime stars is in full bud. She's got 3 beautiful buds there. She's been working on this new growth for a couple months. She's a very reliable bloomer. She blooms several times a year. If you watch my channel regularly, you've seen many of her blooms. Just kind of pan this way. I've got my plumerias all coming into season, really working on their new leaves and growths. Excited for them to bloom for me. And let's see here. Oh, something I'm really excited about. Again, way up here are my zygopetalums. Not much going on as far as spikes, but they're growing really good. But here's something super exciting. My Chysis Lemminghii has, excuse me, 3 buds. This will be the first time it blooms for me. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm getting over a sinus infection. So look at that. Oh my goodness. I kept thinking this one hates me. I can't grow this one and get it to bloom because it keeps putting out all these nice growths and no blooms, no spikes. And this year it said, hey, no, I was just, doing my thing. I'm ready. So excited. So I will show you guys that when it blooms. Let's see, down here, I've got, this is another zygopetalum, a species, Crinidum. It's maturing a new growth. This is a Lelia catarthron, Fair Jewel. She's been maturing this growth. She's got a little bit of a sheath starting to pop out there. I don't expect blooms yet. I think she needs to mature some more, but these are all year round. This is my, let's see, Dendrobium bellatulum. Her flower is just fading, and she's working on a new little growth right there. So cute. She was in bloom for close to 2.5 months, like the Lelia Wesley behind me. These are my Ocidens. They're all gearing up to put out their new growth. Some have already started, my smaller Ocidens. My Neophanetia, or Vanda falcata as it's known now, maturing new growths. I don't see any spikes yet. I also have my Dendrobium aggregatum plunking along. I don't see any new growths yet for this spring. They usually come from under here, but she's looking good. Another one in bloom that is just such a reliable bloomer. I gave a division to a friend, and that one's blooming for her. This is from Sunset Valley Orchids. I bought this over 3 years ago on my very first visit with them. It's the LC Tropical Aura crossed with SLC Wasp Next Red. And so 3 beautiful flowers. I love the contrasting deep reds, pinky maroon with the orangey, deep orange, burnt orange, and light orange. Gorgeous. Then we start coming over to where my Bifrenarias and Sarcochilus are. I've got a number of them. I need to repot this one. I was growing it indoors just to see if it would ever bloom, and it never has. It wanted to. Like, I could see some spikes wanting to develop down in those junctures, but it really needs the temperature difference that winter gives. I have some younger Bifrenaria plants. I unfortunately sunburnt this one, but everybody's growing new growths. This is a Lelia purpurata that I unfortunately repotted at the wrong time, and the new growth couldn't sustain, but it's got a new little nub in there. I don't know if it's actually ever going to come back, but I'm going to give it a chance while it's still trying. Oh, we got a flower that's done. That flower actually came from my Bifrenaria harrisoniana up here. Just finished its second spike blooming. Put in some pictures. But my Sarcochilus still have some blooms going on. This is a beautiful peachy light orange. This is a Chimera Mischief Orange Gold crossed with Parma Fran. I repotted the majority of my Sarcochilus last summer, spring, and so it sets them back. It seems they're easy to set back with the repotting, but they're all starting to get their groove now and getting more fuller and maturing new growths. This one had bloomed for me this year. So fragrant. I was surprised. I didn't know Sarcochilus could be fragrant until I bought one recently. It's in a video that I showed from when I went to the botanical gardens, and it was a very white flowered one. I'll show that in a second, but this one is the Conora Need Orange Ripple crossed with Conora Taser WTO. And a lot of her flowers have already fallen off, but very, very fragrant. Just again surprised me. And with Sarcochilus, I love the contrast of the back, which is just as beautiful as the front. To quick hop over here, this is that newer edition that I showed in a video. A new Sarcochilus Picoti alba. It was a beautiful white flower with very little burgundy red in the middle. So I want to repot this one. It has some hydration issues, but it was the very first Sarcochilus that actually clued me into that they can be fragrant. It was so fragrant, so beautiful. I was smelling it as often as I could. And then this one turned out to be fragrant. And this one bloomed for me before, I believe, but I don't remember any fragrance. I just don't. And then down here, my Conora iridescent crossed with Sweetheart Speckles is still in bloom. I love her. Each flower has a little bit of a different variation. This is the newest flower. You can see the darker, bolder look. And then as they get a little older, I have not detected a fragrance on this one yet. So pretty. I love Sarcochilus, really do. Let's see. Another exciting thing happening out here is my Miltonia spectabile var rosea. I've had her for close to 3.5 years. One of my very first not Phalaenopsis orchid purchases. I had no idea what I was doing. I set this one back several times. I just know it. I thought I was going to lose her, but she has come back really well. Is working on all these new growths, and one of them over this last season is maturing a flower spike. So that is an actual flower spike. It's going to be developing buds, and I don't see any other. I think that's the only flower spike I'm going to have. But this tells me that I've got her in a good place. She grows year-round out here, and they like to be a bit yellow. So she's getting the perfect light. She put out the flower spike. So I anticipate with these new growths that next year or next season, I'll have even more flower spikes. That's what I'm hoping for. Very, very nice. And then if you haven't watched me before, I've been expanding my growing area. And so we come around the corner here and I put up shade cloths. But I've got a whole bunch more Cattleyas going on over here. A lot of my Cattleya hybrids. And so I have some new additions I'm going to make a separate video on, which I will feature soon. But one that I have been talking about regularly is my Walkeriana. And I moved her out from a spot where she was very sheltered, had a board to keep any ambient light from hitting her, because I've heard that that will abort flower spikes. Well, I thought for sure this new growth, I've been struggling growing her, so I repotted her in a more moisture retentive media, not like crazy moisture retentive, but enough moss to hold on to some extra moisture. And so she grew this beautiful growth where in the past she kept aborting. So you see these two right here. Well, she did the same, but at least she matured a lot better. So there's going to be more energy in this growth. And she's starting to put out some roots. I'm going to put a little moss down here to support that, to try to make sure it doesn't abort, because it's getting hotter here in Southern California. But then she also started this new growth from the rhizome here. And so maybe, who knows, maybe this one will bloom for me. I'm just happy she hasn't died, that I haven't killed this one. I really hope someday to get some blooms. So I decided when this aborted, whether it was going to flower or actually grow some leaves. I've never grown new leaves. These are, it just, yeah, I can't seem to grow any leaves. I decided to bring her outside with a good portion of my other more mature Cattleyas and have her experience the full heat of summer, and we'll see how she does. I'll keep her definitely more hydrated. These guys get watered more frequently as the weather keeps getting warmer. But yeah, so we'll just swing back around. And that's my patio update for now. And I hope you guys are having a great day, and there's going to be some more updates. Oh, well, actually, give me 10 more seconds. Here's where I moved all of my catasetums. So they are, for the most part, all of them have woken up. They're all working on new growths, and I'm pretty happy about that. But I'll feature them a little later. But that's where they ended up here on my patio. Inserting an update later from when I first took the video. And my Maxillaria Memorial Ben Berliner smells amazing. I just love this orchid so much. Something that opened today, this morning, my Miltonia spectabile flower. Man, worth the wait. 2.5 years, almost 3 years, waiting for this to rebloom. I almost killed it. Absolutely love this one. I don't smell anything yet, but that's okay. I'm sure the fragrance will come in. And then my Chisis Lemini. She's open, first time blooming. The other bud here is open. Hope I'm not making you too dizzy. Oh, so happy. This was also worth the wait. I haven't smelled anything yet. So she just started opening yesterday, and the second flower opened this morning. So, not a lot of flowers out here, but I got some. My beautiful LC Tropical Aurora, crossed with SLC Wasp, next to Red, going strong. And we'll just come around here. Sorry if you're dizzy still. My Lelia Wellesley. is finally done blooming. She bloomed for 2 months. Amazing. And my Proctivola key lime stars has several buds there. Can't wait for them to open. Such a reliable bloomer. That's a quick flower update here on the patio. So if you've watched till the end, thanks so much for watching. Or if you only watched a portion and you're not even hearing this part, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you like this content, please put a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, put them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, thanks for coming along on this journey.